was the Cavell Declaration that your former lawyers drafted. And I forget what number it was, but I think we can get by with just referencing the actual document. Now, this happened on February 1st, 2018, about 2 months after the raid. Now, at this time, your lawyers must have known that there was a search warrant executed for SARMs, right? I'm just asking common sense-wise.
Logically, common sense, yes.
Yet, if you look here, this is basically a 5-page confession for Scott Cavell, admitting that he sold SARMs. Did you ever review this before this was filed with the court?
I've read some things. I don't know if I've read this exact document. I've read something similar to this at the very least. And whether I reviewed it before it filed with the court or after, I don't recall.
Well, the reason I ask is because it's highly peculiar for a law firm to basically write a criminal confession for one of the people they're representing. And my question to you is, like, when or if are you suing Rattan and Tucker for malpractice? Do you have any plans to do that?
No.
Because literally 3 days later is when the warrant went out for Mr. Cavell's arrest, after this was filed with the court. And here's the petition that his parole officer put together. You notice date supervision commenced is the same date presented earlier when Mr. Cavell was released from prison. That's July 22nd, 2016.
The July 22nd, 2016 is the date he was released from prison?
Correct. And let's take, it goes on and on about his violations of his supervised release, and, we don't have to go through this whole thing, but I'd like to discuss Charge 5, which is unlawful use of a controlled substance. So, third paragraph on page 3. Officers ran the vehicle information, discovered that the vehicle had been re-registered to Jorge Aguilera on April 8th, 2017. Aguilera is an employee of Cavell's. So the same fella, Aguilera, who's supposed to be the CEO of Fertilizer Warehouse and also the CEO of HC Pharma, turns out all along, according to the government, to be an employee of Mr. Cavell's. Is that your understanding?
I plead the fifth.
It says here Cavell's roommate stated the vehicle belonged to Cavell. So it looks like Mr. Aguilera's a patsy, right? I mean, that's what it seems like to me. Would you agree with that statement?
I plead the fifth.
Okay. Last paragraph. Most recently, observations by federal law enforcement officers indicate Cavell has continued to engage in manufacturing and distributing unapproved drugs, dietary supplement, and controlled supplements / steroids for human consumption. However, instead of doing this at his place of employment, which was closed by the city of Sacramento as a result of the search on December 6th, he appears to now be running this out of his residence. So that original press release said that they got the green light from the city, but according to this document, he just was running Enhanced Athlete from his house. Which one is accurate?
I plead the fifth.
Okay. Let's take a look at the top sentence of page 4. The undersigned considered issuing a summons while the case remained under investigation, inferring, I believe, to the criminal investigation of Enhanced Athlete. However, it appears Cavell has breached the court's trust in an egregious way. and he has continued to place the community at risk. What do you think they're talking about here?
Well, they listed they say in an egregious way, and then they listed 5 charges. So
Right.
I'm sure they're referring to the 5 charges.
You know what those charges are? Manufacturing and distributing drugs, dietary supplements, and controlled substances, steroids for human consumption.
Okay, that's what the document says.
Correct. And as of February 6th, 2018, you were aware not only that these materials were rated by the European authorities, that they were considered illegal by the FDA based on the arrest warrant on December 6th, but also confirmed the government's position here on February 6th, 2018, that selling these drugs is illegal. Correct?
I'm not admitting I was aware of this document or of the timing. I'm pleading the 5th.
Okay, so 47 will be the declaration of Ronald Peters, which is Cavell's criminal attorney. And if you didn't know then, you should know now, because, you know, here in this document, I'm sorry to do that so quickly, man. In this document, I think Mr. Peters makes it unambiguous by March 22nd that there is an active criminal investigation with respect to Mr. Cavell, with respect to Enhanced Athlete, specifically regarding the sale of SARMs. That's paragraph 4. Clear as day. So when we left off, we were talking about some of the history in 2018, and we had talked about, well, previously we talked about the raid that was December 6, 2017. Then we talked about the declaration that Mr. Cavell did with the assistance of counsel on February 1st, his arrest 3 days later, and then the declaration from his criminal attorney, Mr. Peters, indicating that he's under investigation personally for the sale of SARMs. And this is dated March 22nd. My question to you is, why, after this date, in April of this year, this will be 48? Yeah, 48. Why, in April of this year, are you promoting the sale of SARMs?
I plead the 5th.
It's this screenshot is from April, I believe it was around the 20th, promoting a last chance SARM sale for enhancedathlete.com. Enhanced Athlete was trying to sell off the remainder of its inventory of SARMs at this point, correct?
It says that it's a blowout sale. The time for full discontinuation of SARMs is here. So that's what that's what the document says.
Just hand me the whole stack, whatever Valerie brought in. Oh, there it is. But Enhanced Athlete, so you're promoting the sale of SARMs even after the arrest warrant, the admission from Cavell's criminal lawyer that Enhanced Athlete is under investigation for the sale of SARMs. You are still promoting the sale of SARMs after that date, correct?
I plead the 5th.
And it says the discontinuation of SARMs, it says here, you have 3 full days to stock up on SARMs during the biggest sale we've ever ran. So instead of discontinuing them immediately when you realized that they were illegal to sell, you ran a sale, correct?
I plead the 5th.
And Enhanced Athlete didn't even get out of the SARMs game at that point, did it?
I plead the 5th.